another session of accountable practicing. So as usual, as I'm just getting ready here, I'm gonna do some of the tweeting input to share that the session's about to start. I'll just take a quick wrap through what I'm gonna do in this session. It is scrolling in the marquee bar. Where the hell's he over there? Marquee bar as usual. So that there's that information. Apart from that, hang on, I just gotta pull up my cheat sheets for scales, and there's that. So yeah, this is the first session today. I wasn't able to stream yesterday, and we're gonna tell my friend to count, because I was just out teaching all day, which makes it hard to be here and stream, and that's the fun of the professional. So, as normal, I'm gonna get started with some breathing using the breath builder. I'm gonna do some buzzing today, probably with the stretch, the incentive spirometer. And there's a good chance I might work with some other stuff. So one thing I do every so often, I use one of these here Volodine meters. It measures your inhale. When I'm working well, this is too much. Well, it measures flow and breath. So what I like to do some days is at the beginning of my breathing session, I'll do 3 Volodines, see where my lungs are sitting, do some breathing exercises, and then do another one to see if I'm getting more efficiency through my breath. So it goes like this. Breathe out all the way. Cool, so we got 4250, so 4 liters, 250 breath. I'm gonna do it a few more times, and the goal is to kind of get to the same place. So breathe it all the way. About the same. Do it one more time. And yeah, again, there's just this game of kind of being in control through the whole lung, and then we'll jump on the breath builder, try to improve that function, and do it one more time. Cool, so yeah, each one was about just under 4.5 liters of air. It's good, I'm happy with that. That's moderately good breathing for me. I'm not sick anymore, so I've lost that as an excuse. Alright, so, for those who've been before, we're going to jump right into the breath builder. One of my favorite little devices. Doing the use. We're going to just do in for 4, out for 4. Get our lungs set and working, which is some basic flows. I'm going to set a metronome. 72 is where I do my breathing. I don't know, I've never liked 60. So I was like, yeah, this is messy, I gotta clean this up. Alright, that'll be a later thing. Alright. So, in for 4, out for 4. So that's the first set of breathing. What do I do now? I think I've done it before. You can buy one of these things. I need to buy some different modules that are easier. It's a resistance breather. It's a way to do the breathing, Jim. If you've ever done it, the inhalation therapy, just with a little more control. And since I'm feeling really weak today, we're going to decrease it a whole bunch and just breathe through this. I'll do 4 and 4. Just gain some resistance into the air. I'm thinking about feeling like a low, back, upper, back, and that's the pattern of inhalation I'm thinking. Just because when you're doing inhalation therapy, we don't fill up as fast, obviously. So the goal is to stretch the air into those areas and just give your mind something to focus on. I'm going to use my shrimp. So breathe all the way. Right now we're just using the resistance from the inhale. And yeah, we'll make it a little bit easier each time. Resistance knob into the inhales back here. So we're starting nice and easy. We want to do 2 or 3 per difficulty, and then we'll crank it quarter turns at a time. So just inhale, exhale without this. Full over 4 beats. Okay, let's increase it. Quarter turn. Another one. When again, I'm just gonna say one more thing. Something out and then. I'm feeling a lot of tension in my back, so we're gonna try to let that go as we do this. All right, give it another half turn. Resistance to the inhales, we gotta pull harder to get the air. Woo! That's fun. Another half turn. So we're just past 1 and 6. 2, 3. Okay, feels good. Now we're going to do a full blockage with the hand, and then pop and fill, sip for 6, suspend it for 2 or so, halfway out, block it, all the way out, sizzle. So this is a full inhalation therapy with an exhalation therapy attached to it. So, all the way out. Okay, now let's grab our Volodine. Let's see if we made improvements. Yeah, it's a game. It's fun. Right away. Yeah, it's a little bit higher. I got to the 4.5 liter mark. Yeah, and the breath felt better. And you can see that first one was just like, and the air just came piling in. So, up next, a little bit of buzzing. So with just the mouthpiece, screw that. We're gonna go right to the breath builder. We're working with air, so let's keep thinking about working with air. Again, with the breath builder, you exhale, which shoots the ball to a quick turnaround and keeps the ball up. So it goes like this. I like to do sirens on this because if you let the air drop, the ball will drop. So the goal is just keeping the ball nice and suspended throughout. Cool. So moving air, motivated. I take the same tube I used on my breath builder, and it magically fits on this. I've worked with this before, the incentive spirometer. So we plug it in, okay, and usually it starts an inhale, right? We inhale. That's disgusting. You inhale and the ball goes up. Oh, sad panda. If you flip it, the exhale, the ball goes up, and we have a gauge. Let's see if we can see right in here, right? So we can change the flow, meaning it takes more air to heat the ball up. So I always start my first one there. Number 3. Give me that focus. There we go. Yeah, and then we just use the spirometer with the ball, the articulation, to keep some sound going. And then eighth notes. Alright, now let's put the measure one. Okay, so now we're going to do, I go up in increments of 2, so where we are now, we're at 5 if that'll focus, okay? Same thing, 2 sets of quarter notes, 2 sets of eighth notes, or just make up a rhythm. The goal, keep the ball as high as you can to the top. That one wasn't great. So again, I'm going to really focus on the air immediacy. 2, 3. Alright, now let's go to 6. So we up at 1, we're at the 6, right there. Same thing with the spirometer, keeping the ball up. So, I don't know, I always think each one of these is a dynamic. So, with the dynamic, you are increasing the volume of air, but we're doing it through flow, not speed. And for me, that's been a huge thing, is not pressing on the note, and the spirometer helps with that because you can't press. You need more flow to get the ball up, and that's the value of this. So now it's like we're at a forte, good healthy forte, with some response. 2, 3. Eighth note, same thing. You have to really focus on flow. The louder it gets. 2. Cool. And in my warming up and working with air, I usually don't go past 6. I will every so often if I've got some like horrifically loud playing in my future, but again, I tend to sit on the start at around 1 or 2, work your way up to 6, and you're done. So now, for the sake of warming up, we're gonna grab the horn. We've done breathing, we've done buzzing, so now it's time for just a general warm up. This is for the clip. Do you know what that is? Just come tune in, check out the Twitch stream. You can drop in and out, ask some questions. It tends to be 11 o'clock Mountain Time. I'll start this. And then if I'll attempt to do a later one. But so now, since I am streaming, I'm going to keep going. And yeah, we're just going to go from here. I'm going to be working on it. So for the stream here, I'm going to start my day with some chromatics out of the brass gym book. And I work on the brass gym book once or twice a week. It's just really, it's Clark number 1. Just done a little bit like without glasses today. 1. couple, I'll click the tempo up. We're just working on fluency. Let's click it up in tempo, a little quicker, focusing on just movement and fluid air. I like to split up between some days starting with long tones, some days starting with sort of fluid chromatics. I do find my overall flexibility is better when I start with moving stuff, but my overall consistency is better if I start with long tones. So to me that means you rotate between them, just like when you train. You don't just like, oh, I get a good return from legs, I'm only going to train legs, right? You mix it up. Then that gives you some consistency. Also keeps the routine a little fresher. So let's go tempo. Ooh, it's scales. I'm going to do scales in the soft touch way that's in the brass gym, which is just ta, 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 nice and soft. Rolling our 12-sided dice, dice tower, and it says that's cocked. 1, C major. And you know what? Because we crazy, let's use a drum. C major. That's really quiet. That's right. So I put this up so I can hear the drum. That one again. We're going to keep looping these. Next dice roll is a 1. 10. Ha! A major. There you go. Feeling the gun? No better. Next key. 10 again. What is up with this? That's a 2. That's D flat major. One thing I should note too, when you practice staccato, especially soft staccato, I find it useful to imagine, right, something like an oboe or a bassoon. You know, an instrument that has such a clear staccato, or like a muted trumpet with like a harmony meter or something that's just nice and pop. Just as something that's this challenging on horn is matching those staccatos. So if we imagine that while we play, I think we get a better staccato out of it. My take on it. Another nice roll. That is a 3. D major, opposite semitone. Alright, cool. Major. Not D minor. Alright, one last key. It's an 11, B flat. I never get easy keys. Another trick to work on soft playing, play with a quiet drum. So you have to play really, really soft to hear the drum. So yeah, that's a good way to work on it. Force your ear. Some scan work. We'll probably do a little more, but now we want to do some smooth air moments, some sand. So yeah, last time I did this, it was about a week ago, I think, actually. This is the really goal for this is that the air is always moving, and just making sure it's as smooth as I can make it. Let's bump the metronome a little bit. Now take a few seconds. You know, we just played down to the basement. Let things kind of come back in. Whoa, focus. Focus is weird today. Right. Hydration. Then we're gonna jump ship from the brass jig. So right now, get all dramatic and stuff. And what I want to do now. What do I want to do now? I need some range, and I'm listening to my heart of hearts. And what does it say today? For me today, it says do range smart. Okay, how am I gonna do high range? It is a book, Solving Technical Problems on the Horn by William Brophy. One of the Bibles. Buy that book. You need that book. It's just so good at what it does. And bees and butterflies. Bees and butterflies. Ignore me. Just doing that thing you always love when people check their phones. So this actually it's just an arpeggio with the ascension of a semitone. I do it a little bit different. I won't today. Every so often I elongate the upper note, spend more time in the air, but I just want to focus on the flexibility of it. So it's going to go like this. I'm going to take a break halfway through and I'll explain my philosophy on high range work. Set a metronome to 72. That's the tempo for it. I've done this before. I can do smoother than that. range is to go as high as it works today. I knew after how yesterday went, I did a lot of playing in clinics, which generally means playing high things, loud things, low things. It's like playing assistant horn without warming up all day, right? You're just playing little snippets of things. So you get clinic chops, which aren't great. Days after clinics, I just feel crappy. Even if I have time to like warm up in the morning and have a good session, clinic thing happens. It's 3 hours of teaching and grinding your face off. And you come home and have another session, and you're like, well, my face doesn't work. Do the same thing after a short rest. And again, the goal is just to go as high as simple as that works, and then we stop. Right? It's just about developing consistent habits in the high range, not about playing the highest notes. I have no high E's in my future, so I'm not too worried right now. Struggle. So yeah, I'm trying to talk a little bit between each exercise to kind of, I don't know, just self-explain what my brain's doing. I'm just like mindless do this. So now, same book, different exercise, low range. I go to like this. Start from the low pedal C or the low C and go into the pedals. Working on connecting with just the addition of the thumb into the low range. So it goes like this. What I'm focusing on is just the jaw motion. The opening up. That's all I'm really working on here. We're 38 minutes. Cool, we got lots of time. So what I want to do now, I'm going to be right back. I just have to run and grab a book. So I'm going to flip on this screen, actually, yeah, that screen, and mute my mic. So I'll be